Vinyl community, happy Sunday. It's me, JC. Just going to do one video this week, and I want to talk about the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert that aired yesterday. And just my initial thoughts on it, my reaction, and some thoughts on the concert that's coming up at the end of September. So for those of you that did not see it, Taylor Hawkins, the drummer of the Foo Fighters, unfortunately had passed away about 3 months ago. And he left behind, two children and a wife, and obviously one of the biggest bands in the world. And we have no idea what's going to happen with the Foo Fighters, but I will tell you, the Foo Fighters did this right. This was one of the most amazing experiences I've experienced on television. I wish I had been there. And I'll go into some of the reasons why. To me, it was filled with so much emotion, of joy, and then at times sadness, and here's someone I didn't even know. But what I loved about this concert was they focused on the music Taylor loved for the majority of it. Bands that he loved, albums that he loved, and then they closed it with a Foo Fighters concert, which we'll get into. But just to go over the set list really quick so you kind of get an idea of how the concert went. Liam Gallagher started the show with the Foo Fighters, and they did 2 Oasis songs, Rock and Roll Star and Live Forever. Then Niles Rodgers came out, and they did Let's Dance and Modern Love, which was really cool. And Let's Dance, what was cool about it was Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age sang Let's Dance. I think he did a great job. And then Taylor Hawkins' band Chevy Metal came out and they did Psycho Killer, the Talking Head song, and Children of the Revolution, the T-Rex song. Freaking love that song. So then Justin Hawkins, who's the singer of The Darkness, came out with Taylor Hawkins' band, the Coattail Riders, and they did some of Taylor Hawkins' songs that he had written himself. Like Louise, Range Rover Bitch, which I love that song if you've ever heard it, and It's Over. When that ended, the most spectacular part of the concert came from me, where it's maybe the closest we'll ever get to an Eddie Van Halen tribute. They talked about how Taylor Hawkins was such a Van Halen fan, and Wolfgang Van Halen came out and did On Fire and Hot for Teacher, and it was like listening to Eddie play. I had goosebumps, and Michelle, my girlfriend, sitting next to me, and she's like, "You're like a kid at Christmas. You're so excited." I was so excited, like I was jumping out of my seat. Like I recorded a little bit. I'll put it at the beginning of this video or at the end, and I've watched that clip like 1,000 times. Like I just love Van Halen so much. It's so great to have seen that. I really hope that in LA, the concert at the end of the month, that they can get maybe David Lee Roth or get Michael Anthony or Alex. It would be great to continue this and do another tribute to Eddie. But it's great that they shined a light on such an amazing musician. But that being said, I totally know that it's Taylor Hawkins' night, so they went back to paying tribute to him. And one of Taylor Hawkins' favorite albums is Jeff Buckley's Grace. So they did 2 songs off Grace where Dave Grohl's daughter came out and sang. And they did Last Goodbye and then the song Grace. It was so fantastic. And then one of Taylor Hawkins' favorite bands, Supergrass, came out and did 3 songs. Richard III, All Right. If you don't know Supergrass, that song All Right was on the Clueless soundtrack. It was a great song. And Caught by the Fuzz. Then one of the big surprises of the night, Them Crooked Vultures reunion. So it was great seeing John Paul Jones on stage. And they started with an Elton John tribute. Elton John did speak over it, but said he couldn't be there. But they did Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. They did Gunman, and they did Long Slow Goodbye, which is a Queens of the Stone Age song, which I absolutely love. That was one of the highlights of the night for me. Then they did The Pretenders with Dave Grohl on bass. The Pretenders came out. And they did Precious. Fantastic job on Precious. They did Tattooed Love Boys. And then they did Brass in Pocket. So at this point, you can imagine, like, it's like, wow, what are they going to do next? They do, I think it was the first time the band had played together in 15 years, the James Gang reunion, because it was one of Taylor's favorite bands, which they did Walk Away, they did The Bomber, and they did Funk 49. So that was fantastic. Then one of the big parts of the night, Brian Johnson and Lars Ulrich come out, and they did two AC/DC songs back to back, Back in Black, and Let There Be Rock. So cool. And obviously the Foo Fighters were playing with them, as you can imagine. Then the Rush reunion, Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee come out because obviously Taylor Hawkins had introduced Rush into the Hall of Fame. He was a huge Rush fan. They did 2112, Working Man, and XYZ, which was really cool. Dave Grohl played the drums on the first two songs. Then they did a Queen tribute where Brian May and Roger Taylor came out. And they did We Will Rock You. They did I'm in Love with My Car. They did Under Pressure, Somebody to Love. And then they ended it with Brian May solo acoustic doing Love of My Life, which was incredible. So at this point, we get the Foo Fighters concert, which was very difficult to watch. Dave Grohl kept breaking down and crying. You could see tears in his eyes, having a hard time, especially songs like Times Like These. That was really difficult for him to do. My Hero, Everlong. But what they did was they kept switching the drummers. And I will tell you that My Hero, Taylor Hawkins' son, came out and played, and it was incredible. But what everybody's talking about on the internet, Paul McCartney came out, and for the first time, maybe ever, he did Oh Darling, and he did it as a duet with Chrissie Hynde from The Pretenders, which was fantastic. And he also did Helter Skelter. Overall, I will tell you this concert was absolutely amazing. I am excited to see what they do in LA. I know in LA there's going to be members of Kiss there. There's going to be members of Motley Crue there. Sebastian Bach is there. It's going to be wild to see if it's completely different or if it's similar. What kind of reunions we're going to get there. Are they going to pay tribute to Eddie Van Halen again, which would be great. Oh, and a surprise, through most of the concert, they have Olivia Newton-John on the drum kit paying tribute to her too. So it was fantastic. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to take a week off. I'll join you again next week with vinyl finds. I've got some really cool albums that I've got, and another coming soon. All right, guys. I'll join you soon. Peace. Rock out. Love you guys.